All right, Cancer. Here's your overall for the week. Why? Oh, the Five of Swords being the overall. I like it better when it's in the advice position. So with the Five of Swords, again, we're talking about impatience and being too hasty. You don't want to force anything. You don't want to, be the one who is acting like everything is owed to you. And I don't know where that's coming from. And I don't like to point fingers when I'm dealing with signs, because I'm looking more so as what is going on around you. But the Five of Swords being the overall, right? That's one possibility. The other thing is, though, you need to be careful about, the people that you're dealing with. You may be dealing with assholes, straight up. People who are trying to pull you into conflict. Oh, boy. Now, some of you just may feel like you have to really fight for what you want right now, but now is not the time to, force something to happen, though, either, going back to the Oracle cards. But, I will say, though, with the Five of Swords being the overall, you may be dealing with somebody who's trying to keep you where they want you, though, too. I get that when I look at this. But we'll see. Now, in the past, the Page of Cups, so... The Page of Cups is the past coming through. This could be... I'm looking at it with the Five of Swords and I'm going, no, that's rough. Feeling something new and then having it extremely miscommunicated. Now, and it may be because of something new coming through to you that's causing this Five of Swords, though. But the Page of Cups, right? A new emotional experience. The messages of emotions, communicating emotions, the way you feel, new creative ideas, creation, right? But it's like you're being blocked from it, and it's no wonder why impatience is coming through. In the present, the Six of Wands. Now, I don't, because you're talking about victory over adversity, which is absolutely great. So, we may be looking at the Five of Swords in the reverse here and coming out of this now and doing the right thing. And maybe not being so naive anymore emotionally. Now, you could definitely be dealing with another person who is very immature and naive and maybe throwing a fit, though, too, with the Page of Cups connected to the Five of Swords. But the Six of Wands. Right? Besides victory over adversity here, you're talking about attention and recognition, but it's only because of a job well done. Now, having said that, though, with, the Page of Cups and the Five of Swords, you may be dealing with somebody who's really wanting some attention here, which is possible, and I'm hoping that this is not about you. This is the other person that you're dealing with here. Oh, wow. All right. Okay. You're either dealing with, extreme miscommunication here when it comes to emotions and you feeling like you're not getting the attention you deserve, which is very possible, or you're dealing with somebody who's willing to do whatever it takes to get your attention. But we're talking about naive, emotionally manipulative between these two, for sure. The Eight of Cups coming out on this, though, in future conditions is basically you saying enough is enough. You've given as much as you possibly can to this. The Eight of Cups bothers me because there's always that question on whether or not, you're really walking away. But dealing with this type of energy, yeah, I would say that you finally move into a place where you know that no matter what you try to do here, it's not going to fix the situation. It's almost like, all right, that's enough. I don't even care what happens next, right? I'm gone. I need to move away from this and stop trying. That's what I feel more so looking at this. I'm done trying. Your best path to follow is strength, and that absolutely makes sense. Needing to pull on your inner strength, with the Six of Wands being the present, yeah, victory over this, but at what cost, though, with the Eight of Cups? But needing to have the strength to move on. and needing to tap into that, especially with this. I mean, this bothers me. Oh, Cancer. In your environment, the Ace of Cups. Ooh. Now, I don't know. I feel like for some of you, absolutely this could be about another opportunity that's in your environment, but you may have somebody that's blocking you from it, or you have completely exhausted all of your emotions onto something that just isn't going to work out. I look at the Six of Wands and the Ace of Cups, and I feel like for some of you, it's about getting over this kind of emotional manipulation, done with it, moving on to this. But then there's still this that you're dealing with because of the Eight of Cups being here. To me, it's still the question of whether or not, somebody's moving on. I do think, though, that you get to a point where you just can't do it anymore. You can't give any more to this. It's not going to fix it. And I worry that you're dealing with a person who may be wanting to have a connection with you, but may not be, the greatest to deal with because of the Five of Swords. Now, definitely for some of you, you may be fighting for a new opportunity. When you're looking at the Ace of Cups, something that's going to make you happy, right? And you do come in with this feeling of the Page of Cups. But what is it that's blocking you, though? It's one or the other here. I do think that some of you are dealing with somebody who's being emotionally manipulative and maybe like desperately wanting your attention, but you can't do it anymore. And the only way to get victory over this is to pull on your inner strength and move on, and possibly move on to a new beginning. Or, we're talking about a new beginning coming through and you having to fight for it. But then I look at this and I go, ugh, your hopes and your fears, the Emperor. Now, in terms of you, it's really about getting control, right? Order and control out of chaos. Like I always say that when I see the Emperor. It may be that, you can't, though. It may be a situation that you just can't get control over. I mean, yeah, even if we're looking at the Ace of Cups in the reverse, the thing is it's still there in your environment. And that's the thing. It's just a delay on getting to that new beginning. And it could be because of emotionally manipulative people, but you're not doing that anymore. I mean, in future conditions, you're just not doing it anymore. You're moving on. But with the Emperor, we could definitely be talking about hopes and fears surrounding a person that may be, trying to keep you where they want you, though, too. I don't know. I feel iffy about that with the Emperor. I have to wait and see what comes out on this. But I'm looking at the Ace of Cups, and I feel like for most of you, because I'm looking at it like this, these are just the circumstances, right? But here you are, like needing to pull on your strength, get control of the situation, walk away, and do what's right for you. But I don't know. I don't know that it's that easy, because it's not really over with, though, either, looking at the Eight of Cups. And then the outcome, Temperance, damn, patience, right? Now, it could definitely be that some of you are just needing to get your balance back between how you're thinking and feeling. But I do think, and it's funny because it just started raining outside, I do think that for some of you, I don't like the energy coming down here, and the way that it's coming out. Like, I feel like you're doing the right thing in terms of, you and how you're thinking and feeling, but something is not finished, though. And that's the problem. Okay. It makes me think that looking at this coming out, though, that this is something else. This is something else in your environment right now. So first of all, the Devil. I mean, the two opposing forces here, right? Temptation and then moderation. I mean, for some of you, and then looking at the Emperor, man, some of you may be dealing with the Devil. Jeez. But whatever it is, it's not good. It's not healthy. It's not a good situation with the Two of Swords. It's like you're still struggling with making the choice here to walk away, which is why I said nothing's really finished yet. But then with the Page of Wands, you're still trying to like balance out having to deal with a difficult situation that is not healthy, but then also this, because you still have something new coming through. The Page of Wands, it could be that you move into a place where, you find your balance here with Temperance. It's just going to take some time, but then you may follow through on what initially came through in the first place. You're talking about hearing good news, being enthusiastic, ready to go here, not really knowing what's going to happen next, but it doesn't matter because there's a lot of passion and drive and wanting to act on something. I don't so much feel like you're hearing something that you want to hear. I think that this has to, because you're in the middle, I think this has to do with you needing to let go of what you know is negative and start having a little bit more passion and drive to follow this. That Ace of Cups, we could be talking about an emotional connection, new love, spiritual connection, something that is going to make you feel good. But are you going to do it? And I'm hoping that, you get past that Two of Swords and you're done with the devil and dealing with manipulative situations possibly. Because again, you're still looking at victory in the present moment. You have that Ace of Cups, but there's still something lingering. Which is where the Five of Swords being the overall comes through. And it may have to do with a person, which is possible. But you need to get control regardless. And you're going to have to pull on your strength to actually be done with this, You can't, and that may be the problem too, because I'm looking at the Moon in the Eight of Cups and the Two of Swords. What are you going to do, though? What's going to happen next if you actually stop doing this? But like I said, you still move into the Page of Wands coming out on this, and being a little bit more excited about something new. And then the Star, very nice, very nice. I always get iffy when I see past life. Okay, so for those of you who are in a relationship, with past life relationship and looking at the Star, this is definitely the healing of a past life relationship. And it may be going very well for you right now, right? Hope and healing, which is great. And a new connection and getting to a place where, there's no more emotional manipulation, right? Which is good. A lot of times we go through that past life relationship over and over and over again until we finally get to the point where things have been healed. That way in the next life, you're not dealing with past life relationships anymore. You're moving on to a new experience. Now, for those of you who are single, looking at the Queen of Pentacles with Free Yourself, it may be that you're dealing with a person who is not focused on you. They may be focused on their own career. You may be dealing with an earth sign. It doesn't matter if it's male or female here, but for some reason, it's like you're needing to just kind of free yourself from these types of relationships where you're not getting the attention that you want, which is very possible looking at this. And then the other thing though too is you may have to free yourself from, responsibilities and obligations for a minute and possibly give somebody your attention. I mean, it's one or the other here. But needing to take back control of your life, right? I don't know, this one bothers me a little bit here, but I do think that some of you are realizing that it's not worth putting in the effort anymore. If you're being faced with the Five of Swords, you're constantly fighting, dealing with battles, you're either going to continue to feed into this or you're going to get your equilibrium back and get rid of that damn devil and make the choice here to move on to possibly something new. All right, Cancer, so the Five of Swords kind of puts a taint on everything that's happening here. And, for me, it's like an oh shit moment. But first of all, with Creator and then with impatience. And it's funny because then you have Temperance coming out. You don't want to force anything to happen. It's definitely needing to create something here, wanting to create something. But maybe now is not the right time to do that. And I can kind of understand with the Five of Swords being there, but then I also feel like the struggle to get control over this. Now, Again, you could definitely be dealing with somebody who is being, emotionally manipulative. And this doesn't have to be a relationship. This could be anybody you're dealing with. And they may be demanding attention from you, which is possible. Now, on the other hand, for some of you, you definitely have, an opportunity for, a renewal here or a better connection with these two showing up. But I do think that that Ace of Cups is something new that's in your environment right now that you may have to move on to. But like I said, the Eight of Cups is never easy, and it's not over. And then, you have Temperance and the Devil coming out on this, and needing to get back to a place of balance here and stop feeding into, these negative things. It's not a healthy situation, basically. And there's no point in continuing to keep feeding into this, if I could talk right. I always do that with Cancer readings. It never fails. But I see you, having a hard time. I mean, you're right in the middle of these two, making the choice here to get rid of the negative and being a little bit more enthusiastic about something new, something that's going to be better than this. I mean, these two together, it's no, And again, with the Emperor being here, definitely needing to get control over emotions. I mean, for sure, and get control over this Five of Swords situation where there's no more fighting, arguing, having to fight for what you want, But like with the Emperor, I do think that for some of you, you may be dealing with a person who may be a little bit too controlling, but then I also feel like it's about you because you're the one that's going to have to pull on your inner strength to continue to deal with this or to move on to a better connection, a newer beginning. I mean, it's there. It's in your environment. It's right there for you. And with the Six of Wands, again, it's needing to get to that place of victory. But are you actually doing it? But again, I also feel like it's because somebody is like demanding your attention or trying to manipulate you into paying attention to them. And again, it doesn't have to be a relationship or romantic. It could be any relationship, right? It could even be dealing with a difficult child or an emotional child, but you move into a place where I feel like you're working on moving things into a better place for you, again, where there's a little bit more enthusiasm when it comes to this. I don't think that you're hearing things that you want to hear or like, the devil whispering in your ears, so to speak. That was more of Aries reading. But I don't know. This one is rough because of the Eight of Cups, because it's not really over yet. And you need to move into that place where you're not doing this anymore. Not feeding emotions into this kind of crap anymore. With the Five of Swords. And again, you may have somebody who's trying to just keep you down and keep you where they want you. But then at the same time, you're being told not to force anything. It's like, right? Now, as far as relationships go, and my best advice on this, just based on what I'm seeing, is you're going to have to make that choice. And I'm hoping that some of you do. But you're going to have to focus on your emotional balance more than anything else. With Temperance being there, that the situation is not healthy, but it's up to you. It's up to you to make that choice. Now, for those of you who are single, looking at the Queen of Pentacles and Free Yourself, you may be dealing with a person who is too focused on their career and not giving you the attention that you want. That, or, you need to free yourself from a work situation possibly, because I look at the Queen of Pentacles and it doesn't matter if you're male or female. She's focused somewhere else. She's not focused on the relationship. And I feel more so, especially because of the reading, somebody is not feeling like they're getting what they want from it or the attention that they want. And again, you could be dealing with an earth sign. And it may be that you just need to free yourself from this person, or, like I said, free yourself from constantly concentrating on, work. Now, for those of you who are in a relationship, this is good. You may be dealing with somebody or something else completely different from this. Looking at past life relationship and the star, you are healing a past life relationship. Now, for some of you, it could just be that you've had a relationship in a past life and there's a lot of hope, a lot of healing, a lot of emotional balance for you, which is great. It looks perfect. So for those of you who are in a relationship, you look really good.